Let's call it from the outset and get it out of the way. Can someone arrest this guy already? Well, if you've asked yourself that question and you haven't seen the news, the bloke has been handcuffed by police and put in the back of the paddy wagon, and every common sense Australian is looking at that image of the neo-Nazi and saying, good news for Australia and Australians everywhere. And can we just appreciate the irony for the moment? The head of the neo-Nazis has hijacked the Premier's public press conference. And let's call it, that's pretty ironic. The Premier of Victoria now knows what it's like to have her public event hijacked by a neo-Nazi. And after the March for Australia on the weekend, now she knows what it feels like. I'm not sure if we should hold our breath waiting for her to come out and denounce her own press conference and call on herself to hold no more into the future now that she's platformed herself a neo-Nazi at her own press conferences. The irony is perfect. But let's be clear, the March for Australia event wasn't organised by neo-Nazis. Even the footage corroborates their claim, as we've seen. And in those open mic scenarios, or where the co-coordinator on the ground disappeared, then you've got a disorganised situation where the neo-Nazis step up to the open mic. But apart from that, let's be clear, the only march that the Nazi Thomas Sewell has ever organised is one earlier in the month, 2 a.m. in the morning, with the usual suspects of the Lost Boys that he had with him on the last weekend. And if you look at that footage, there aren't thousands marching behind this guy. That's what it looks like when neo-Nazis organise an event in Australia. The Lost Boys rock up, who got nowhere better to be at 2 a.m. That's their organisational capability, let's be very clear. And it was the same Lost Boy at the March for Australia event that people booed, that they had little to no friends there. If it's not clear to everyone, you don't go from organising an event at 2 a.m. in the morning where the Lost Boys rock up to organising an event where there are thousands upon thousands of ordinary Aussie Australians. That kind of capability doesn't just all of a sudden uptick in 2 weeks. No, if you've brought into that narrative, then you're buy into anything. Can we just focus on the Prime Minister and his government on the lead up to the March for Australia marches? He's come out publicly denouncing the event. He's had a series of ministers do open letter and media statements saying that it has no place in Australia. His Home Affairs Minister said that the Albanese stands against these events. And then you've got other ministers like Mr. Watt coming out and saying, we don't support rallies like this that are spreading hate, that divide. Events organised by National Socialists, i.e. Nazis. Now, if you think that this is a legitimate and congruent statement by the Prime Minister and his government, you think they might have denounced another massive event that has a larger global platform. Well, has the Prime Minister and the ALP thought about issuing the same denouncement to ALP royalty? Former Premier Dan Andrews and Foreign Minister Bob Carr, who is an ex-Premier, ALP Premier himself, will be attending the Sino-Socialist public event that the Chinese are putting on. Xi Jinping, the dictator for life, they'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with Putin, with North Korea's Kim Jong-un, with Iran's prime ministers. And yet we hear crickets from the ALP government. Well, the Prime Minister and his government does seem to stand with such events of their own choosing. It just depends which side of the socialism stick that they fall on. It's absolutely outrageous. I mean, you denounce a socialist extremist event on one side, and then you say nothing about ALP royalty going across to a Sino-Socialist extreme event in China. Crickets. There's no denouncement of socialist extremists. It's clear the Albanese government doesn't stand against such events. So let's get started. Who organised the march? So if we're going to answer, was the march organised by National Socialists, i.e. Nazis? Well, first of all, there were no Nazis reported at any other location. We've got our other locations. You can see them here: Canberra, Darwin, Hobart, Townsville, Cairns, Albury, Wodonga, Bundaberg, Newcastle, Gladstone, Echuca, Yeppoon, if I got that right, sorry, Echuca, Rockhampton. No neo-Nazis. Now, if this was an organised neo-Nazi march, we'd expect National Socialists to be at every location in black, decked out, saying all the things that, I don't know, I'm not sure what it is that they say. That's not the case. So, the next question is then, at these major locations like Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, what exactly was the context of their presence and what happened and how did the crowd respond? Let's have a look at that. So let's take a look at Adelaide. Here in Adelaide, you clearly see the NSN gets up uninvited, not a book speaker, and the crowd ends up booing him. He looks a little bit deer in the headlights, like he's going to run off the stage, but eventually gets pushed off the stage by the event organizer. And you can see that the individuals in yellow shirts, or yellow vests, the police also have yellow on their vests, but the organised monitors that are in the yellow vests are working with police to get them out of there. Doesn't look like a National Socialist organised event. March for Australia in Adelaide, definitely not organised by the NSN.
The NSN showed up, half a dozen of them in black shirts with probably 20 or 30 undercover guys in the crowd. They were literally shouted down every time they tried to speak.
All right, we're going to open it up for an open mic. Probably, I think, 5 speakers tops, and just try to keep it short and sweet, just so it doesn't drag on for too long. Thanks, guys. All right, so if you just want to come around, just come up.
Lost us in March.
Go home! You men in black, go home! We are not racist! We are not a racist nation!
You've lost us! You've lost us!
All Australians! Not just white Australians!
We love all of you. We're not racist at all. We love every one of you.
Okay, this is it.
We're here to say the truth about why we're protesting, and these guys are not representing what we think.
The fucking Nazi group ruined it.
Yeah,
that was good before that. That's why everyone's leaving now. No one stands for that.
We stand for everyone, not just a few people, you know? That's
The
racist.
extremists ruined it for everyone. That's what happens.
This is it. Wow, that's killed it. Absolutely killed it. This has absolutely killed it. Look at that.
The media's gonna paint that.
Absolutely killed it.
I would love everyone.
Be good to the flag, be good to the people.
Well, there seems like a common theme that is corroborating across the Brisbane and the Sydney event. But let's go to the controversial location of Melbourne and get a feel for, was this any different? Melbourne is the outlier of the locations where the local co-coordinator pulled the pin, didn't rock up on the day, and backed away from the whole event, which left a massive gap, which is why you see people congregating and no one knowing what to do.
Those fringe neo-Nazis were despised by almost everyone there yesterday. In fact, after the police allowed them into the rally without even following them, they bashed their way through the crowd who didn't want them there.
Avi Yemeni and his team. You see, Yemeni actually confronted these neo-Nazis and was abused for being a Jew.
Child killer! Man, child killer!
support Hitler. You guys look like and say the same chants as the guys on the other side. You should just join Antifa.
Some of those ratbags, most in black, attacked Yemeni security guards and later also fought with counter-protesters who tried to stop the march. And after the march, some of these thugs, led by Thomas Sewell, attacked Aborigines at Camp Sovereignty. These guys are scum.
Just so for the viewers, we're live. We've been walking around the crowd. We can see that 99.5% of people here don't support that group. But you were there, so you're saying as he took the crowd, the stage,
a lot of people booed. A lot of people expressed their disgust, and now they're leaving.
So many people don't even know who he is, and they asked questions, and they were like, "We can't be associated with the Nazis." It's like it is such a beautiful march, just been taken over, and it's very sad. I'm an immigrant myself. I'm a citizen.
Oh, they attacked Rukshan. They attacked me.
We saw that.
It's
we ran
terrible.
over, but. Yeah.
Like I am against mass immigration. Everyone knows that. This is not the way. We can't let Nazis take over.
They're hijacking it though. It's clear when you look at the crowd, and I think it's important, guys at home. That's why it's important to share the live so people can actually see what the vast majority of the crowd is. There are two groups causing trouble in the city today. It's the far left, the pro-Palestine, anti-Australia group, and it is the neo-Nazis, which ironically share so much in common.
Where's the Nazis?
The Nazis are speaking. The rest of the people, the majority here, are peaceful, Australia-loving people. Regular Aussies that just want a better country. So make sure to share the stream so people get to see the truth.
Form your own opinion.